What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, shout out to Alien Army. Raise up, stand up, hit a like button, and definitely drop a comment. Checking in. If you don't know what Alien Army is, those are people that rock with me heavy. They rock with me tough. They just rock with me by rocking with me, by being subscribed to me, always hitting the like button and dropping a comment. So it's really easy to do. This is the first time, messing up my words a little bit. If this is the first time you've ever watched one of my videos, I am homeless. I do live in my car. I got a bunch of videos on here. So if you like this content, you can, check out the other content as well. Definitely subscribe. Shout out to all my donations. If you wanted to show me love or bless me, my Cash App is the same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend, and I'm gonna jump into today's video. Homeless, am I delusional? So, quick answer: no, I'm not delusional, but I'm gonna go into some stuff. So stick around. This is inspired because my last video, saying I'm ready, Greg to set. If you haven't seen that, that was yesterday's video. The person didn't say it in a disrespectful or mean way. The person said he thought that I was delusional and he wasn't trying to be mean, and that he thinks that that if I don't have a job, I should go get one. And of course, I think the first comment, everybody has different opinions. It's okay as long as somebody doesn't say something disrespectful to me that's flat out mean and nasty and everything else. Then I can understand a comment. And I can appreciate that somebody took the time to write that. And it did come from, I think it came from a place of sincerity. I had encouraged the person to watch more of my videos and for them to get the bigger story. You know what I mean? So that got me thinking, homeless, am I delusional? So like I said, the quick answer, am I delusional? Absolutely not. Do I believe a lot of people out here are? Absolutely. I'm going to be talking about a whole range of stuff. So you're definitely going to want to watch the whole video, because you never know where the story is going to turn and what else I'm going to throw in. So that's one of the cool things, you know what I mean? But I'm going to jump straight into it. Am I delusional? Was I delusional when I was a child and I was hurt very, very badly by somebody who lived inside my house? And I have to use YouTube parameters when I talk about this stuff. I get dinged, and I definitely don't want that to happen. So imagine having a parent that did bad stuff to you, okay? And the teacher's thinking it was funny and not helping. Was I delusional to think that another adult would go out of their way and help? I must have been delusional, because I didn't. That not only did they not think that it was like they antagonized things, they were evil people. Now could somebody say, hey, you're delusional to think they were like that? No, I've got people that went to school with me who suffered from the same hands, and they can say the same exact thing. So this is, and it's not mass hysteria. Was I delusional to think that that mothers and fathers should be good to their kids and help support them and raise them the best way, and do their best by leading by example? I must have been delusional, because that didn't happen to me. Didn't happen to a lot of people that lived on the same street as me. Was I delusional when I became a truck driver, that I never even drove on the freeway? Like, hardly ever. I was terrified of the freeway. The car that I had was a bucket. The tires were not freeway worthy. Could I city drive with it? Absolutely. That was a good car. In a sense, it was a bucket. It didn't leave me, didn't leave me stranded. However, I was terrified of driving on the freeway. I didn't even have a cell phone. I mean, well, I had a cell phone when I went to trucking school, of course, but I didn't. I was afraid of something happening and not having a cell phone. I didn't have no AAA. I didn't have a way for towing it. In fact, I'm gonna be 100% honest. That particular vehicle, that was the vehicle I had before I bought my Honda Civic. That vehicle didn't have insurance. The registration and tags were up. I couldn't afford it, even though I had been working a job more than 12 years, same job in the medical field. Was I delusional to think that I could buy a brand new car and help people in the medical field and do very well? I must have been delusional, right? I of course don't think that. You know what I'm saying? I'm being facetious and being I guess a smart ass, but these are the things I'm going to be talking in this video. I never even drove a sim. I never even been in one. I was intimidated standing next to them. I hated driving next to them. Like they were big and slow and dangerous. That was my impression of that stuff, right? I must have been delusional thinking that I could go. I didn't even drive at nighttime hardly ever. I had to know the area for me to do it. There were so many places that were really, really dark. I must have been delusional. I went to trucking school and excelled. I was in the perfect place to learn everything. It was okay that I didn't know any of that stuff. And some people would say that's delusional. Like, why would you Why would you join? You know, and I got those questions. I got those questions from families and family members and friends. I got the question, why would you go into want to be a trucker this late in life when you know absolutely nothing? You don't even like driving on the freeways, you know, and stuff like that. I didn't start driving on the freeway until I got this car here, my Honda Civic, in 2018. I bought it brand new. I think it had 10 miles on it, and I did a 15-mile. You know, I drove around for 15 miles before buying it, so it literally had 10 miles on this car, if I remember correctly, something along those lines. You know, brand new, first owner. You know, less than you know, 10-20 miles on it. I went ahead and taught myself how to drive on the freeway and feel more secure. Now I was in a reliable vehicle. Now I had a cell phone where if something happened, you know, I could call somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was in a place where, you know, why would you do that? So I got friends and family asking me, why are you going to join, you know, become a trucker when you haven't done that? That's the perfect, in my opinion, that if you know nothing about something, that is perfectly okay to go ahead and go to a place where you can learn, you know. However, I was called delusional. I had a lot of people thinking that I would never get my Class A. Not only did I get my Class A, first of all, the permit test that I took, I passed the very first time, and I got my tanker endorsement, right? Boom. That's just a permit. Then in trucking school, I was in there with people that had experiences driving semis and trailering, you know, literally, you know, driving a tractor and then having a trailer. I had, there was people in the class that were used to having, you know, like a Ford F-150 and then having something behind it and towing it. I had never had, at that time, the biggest vehicle I ever drove was probably a small or medium-sized U-Haul for a move, and you know, probably like a Ford Tundra or a Ford, not Ford Tundra, a Toyota Tacoma or a Toyota Tundra. I've driven a Ford F-150 before as well. Those are, they're nothing like a tractor and a trailer, right? Those people didn't pass their licenses on their first try. I did. You know, they were great right out the gate. I had no idea that when you turned right, that the trailer goes left. I had no idea of how to line something up in physics. You know, pick your lines and stuff like that. I had no idea. But what I did know is I was in the position where I could learn that. You know, where I'm supposed to learn all that stuff, and I applied myself. I was there at that school when everybody was doing so much better than me. But I'm in competition with myself. It was like, wow, okay, you know, it is what it is. I'm here to learn, though, right? I was there an hour early before school, an hour early after, and I asked the trainers, could I come home, not home, but could during lunchtime, if I ate my lunch quick, and most times I skipped lunch, could I go underneath there and go underneath the pre-trip? Can I go ahead and go over the different backing maneuvers from alley dock to blind side parallel to driver side parallel to offset blind side and offset driver side? You know, straight backing, all that stuff. And they all said, yeah, they were thrilled. And then after it was all said and done, those trainers would still have to go ahead and move tractors and trailers and everything else. But everybody else was leaving. I stayed there an extra hour, and I helped them every single day. And that showed the determination. And guess what? Within a very short amount of time, those people that were all better than me were asking me, "Hey, Alien, how did you land that alley dock in one go? How did you, we were told the markers of, what we're supposed to look for when we're doing certain backing maneuvers on the pad, and I was helping them. Hey, Alien, can I see your notes for this? Because when I wasn't doing that stuff, I was using a piece of paper and drawing things and understanding the actual mechanics and whatnot. And then also remembering that when the tractor doesn't have a trailer, it drives just like a car. When I turn it right, it actually goes right. When I turn it left, it goes left. When I have a trailer behind me and I go right on my steering wheel, that trailer is going to go left. Understanding the points of jackknife and actually getting the back of it to pivot and swing around. Utilizing space so you can get your backing maneuver, all that kind of stuff. So was I delusional when I learned all that? And everybody doubted me. Like almost everybody doubted me. Like, Alien's not going to do very good. He's going to come back with the tail between his legs, and he didn't make it. And at that time, I gave everything. I stopped living at my place that I was paying for. If I didn't make it, I had no home. I put everything into it. Was that delusional? I did talk about, why I quit trucking and, stuff like that. So if you want to go check that out, go ahead. I believe I talk about how I got into trucking and all, as well as how I quit it. And that's not this video, but I'm just saying, was I delusional when I was, doing the right thing so many times? so many times in life you get opportunities where, you know, I could have got away with a lot of stuff, but it didn't feel right. And I'm going to give you examples of that. When I was working with the medical field, there were several times where I had picked up part-time jobs. One of the part-time jobs I picked up that I stayed with the longest was I didn't start off marketing. I started off doing data entry, and then from data entry I ended up building a website, and this guy had loads and loads of money. It was cheap as hell. You know what I mean? And that's I was working a full-time job, but I was working a full. I was getting paid $300 a week, and it was supposed to be part-time, but I was doing full-time hours. That's what I was trying to explain. Hopefully I didn't step over my words too much, but I'm gonna give you some examples of that. It was only supposed to be data entry. I went ahead and did the data entry stuff in there. Okay, I'm gonna do a long story short because I'm gonna do a video about all the jobs I had. I'm gonna go into details about it, but nonetheless, it was data entry. I went ahead and he had a website. I sent him an email through that website, and when I did that, I acted like a potential client, and it had been over a week. I had asked him. I said, "Hey, you know, when was the last time you got a lead?" And he said, "A long time." I said, "Does it really go to your mailbox?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Funny." I said, "I sent you an email a week ago, and I you know, I acted like a potential customer, and you never got to me. You know, potential customer / client, you know, that kind of thing." And he went ahead, and I said, "Do me a favor, go to that website, your website, and send yourself an email. You know, like fill out, you know, trying to reach out to the person." I said, "Do that and let me know you got the email." Next thing you know, because I'm really good with computers, I've talked about it before, from Visual Basic 3.0 to 6.0 Enterprise, the scripting I've done with Python, the scripting I've done with Java. I never went to school for any of this. I just should talk about that. Am I delusional to be able to be self-taught and know how to program? Am I delusional enough that I can look at something and find exploits or find methods of how to make things work? There's a lot of ways that you can do something, and a lot of the things that I do, I think outside the box, and that's how I am. You know, I don't believe I'm delusional at all, but I'm gonna, you know, I want you guys to hear all the stories and all the examples I give. With that particular guy, so now I'm making him all these websites, and I'm doing all this stuff. I'm also doing marketing for him. I am watching him step over dollars to pick up pennies, like I've seen so many people do. I've alerted him, I told him, and everything else. I made that guy over $200,000 in 1 year, over $200,000 profit. Over 200,000. This guy makes lots of money. Upon me doing that stuff from time to time, because of the help that I was giving him and stuff like that, I'd also get side jobs. There's been a lot of real estate agents that I've made websites for, and at first they just wanted me to customize their little Keller Williams website, and I'm like, they're like, "Oh, I got a free website. I'm with Keller Williams," or whatever. You know, Keller Williams is definitely one of them. There was other real estate offices, and I'm like, that website's trash. You're underneath their scrutiny. You know, if you want a WordPress website, we can do it. You want a Wix website, you can do it. If you actually have the time on your hand, Wix is drag and drop. Oh, suddenly you guys all like went to some ClickFunnels thing, and you want to use ClickFunnels for drag and drop, and Wix actually, in my opinion, made the stuff look better. But ClickFunnels sold you on you know, like you just didn't have the intellect, you know, to know exactly how a funnel works. It's part of marketing. It's literally doing drip campaigns. It's selling, you know, upselling. I can't think of all the words right now, but basically it's a sales funnel. That's what it is. It's a sales funnel. So you've got a landing page or a squeeze page, and they're basically the same thing. You know, a squeeze page you're squeezing information from. You know, they didn't know what PPC is, pay per click. You know, they didn't know anything about ad campaigns. You know, website ad campaigns, well, email marketing, and then ad campaigns, and that could be from Google AdWords, or it could be from Facebook, it could be from a lot of different platforms. You can get your ads, and you can get your videos, and you can get your little things on you know, video games, on you know, almost everywhere, right? And it all depends on the avenue that you want to go through. Nonetheless, they were stepping over pennies, stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. One of the dudes, and this is going to be a great story, you know, so please stick around. This, I'd get side jobs, and I would sometimes I would take them, sometimes I wouldn't, if they had the money to pay me. I did charge. I wasn't giving myself bottom of the barrel prices when it came to that stuff. I was actually giving them, giving people a deal, but I was giving them, you know, $300. Like when I was making that dude websites and stuff, I was getting paid $300 a week, and I was webmaster, and I was building the websites. I was running the ad stuff. I was doing the email marketing. I was getting leads, I was cultivating leads, I was doing intake, I was doing all this stuff. The list could go on. Like I said, I'll make a video about the different jobs I have, and I will go into the details that I did. And it was all for peanuts. But when I'm doing this, what I'm, I guess this is another point I can use, right? Was I delusional to think that from doing that and networking with people that had a lot of money, that had successful businesses, and that there was people that I could meet from that they would actually see value in me? And not only just see the value in me, that I could help them a whole lot, and by helping people first and doing the right thing, that I had planned, and I had thought that it was going to turn into something more than $300 a week. I also did seminars where I went ahead and taught marketing classes. I've got flown around, and I was still the people that I was around would have never thought in a million years that the person I was working for was only paying me $300 a week. They thought that I was getting thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I didn't talk money with people, but that's what they assumed. And I didn't broadcast that stuff. Like, man, can you only believe I'm only getting $300 a week? No, I thought I was building something with this person and their company. And then I also thought that the people that there would be other people around that would see what I was doing, and that I could build things with them as well. So I looked at it as more than just $300 a week. I looked at it as a huge possibility. Was I delusional to think that by doing really, really good work and helping a whole lot of people and bringing results that people should send, have a party for me type thing, you know what I mean? If somebody made me $200,000 in a year, do you think I would feel okay only paying them $300 a week? I would be extremely thankful, and I would listen to what that person said, so that they can make me more money, and that they could do a better, like, help me help you. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, one of the side jobs was this person had it was a totally different person. It was I'm gonna call him I gotta give them nicknames. Let's see here. Give me a second here. Harmonica and Flute. That's what I'm gonna name them. Harmonica and Flute were business partners. They had they were developing a software that they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on. At first, they wanted me to take a look at it and find some bugs and stuff like that. And out of a courtesy, I would do that, right? And I knew them. I didn't know Flute very well. I actually didn't like Flute. And the other person I knew a little bit. I had heard about him and stuff like that. Running in circles and stuff. Anyways, long story short, I get on a business call with them after finding some bugs and stuff like that. And at this time, I did that out of a courtesy. I then later find out that a marketing company wants to promote their software when the software launches. When that's about to happen, they're talking about lowest package $10,000 a month, highest package like $30,000-$40,000. I know this company very well. The marketers, they're scumbags. All they do is steal. They will give you maybe they'll charge you $10,000, and you might break even, and then they'll tell you, hey, next month we'll stick with us. We're definitely gonna get you a profit. You didn't lose any money this month. You know what I mean? And then they just prolong it, and they just do scumbag stuff like that. And that's what I'm not gonna say the name of the company, but I know them, and they're still in business today, unfortunately. Hopefully they change their practices. I find them very unethical. I hear about that, and he said that he's like, I spent so much money on this software, I'm gonna be rolling it out. I need a great marketing plan and blah blah blah. He tells me that stuff. I know firsthand, if I write a very complete step-by-step document of all the steps that he can do, and do all the marketing himself with screenshots and everything, showing him how to do everything, that one, he will either do it and remember me in the future, or two, he would be like, wait a minute, this is so much steps, how much would you charge, Alien? That was my thing. Like, I take it as a favor, and you could do it, and I did it. I wrote exactly how I would do it with screenshots, all this documents in there. I sent it to him. He said, it's going to take him a couple days to read it. I go, yeah, no problem. I go, but I would tell you to stay away from that company. Either do it yourself. I said, you could always offer to pay me, or you could find somebody else, or you can use this as a reference for when you talk to whoever you want to do your marketing with, right? He looks at all that stuff, and that's when I actually meet his other business partner, and we do a phone call. When we do this phone call, they basically scrubbed. They've developed another I think they developed this program, but I mean, this isn't what they were trying to sell. They scrubbed LinkedIn, and they were able to do it with a certain demographic of people that they wanted to hit. They scrubbed LinkedIn for phone numbers and emails, and they were very successful. They asked me, would I be interested in doing a part of their market team where I was cold calling these people, but they had the demographic and everything else, and then also doing email campaigns with them and stuff like that. This is when I met the other business partner, and he was on the phone and stuff like that. When they do all that stuff, there's a saying that I've said on a lot of my videos: I know a trader before they know themselves. I know when somebody's up to something, and you don't have to tell me. I can read it. I can feel it. You know, sometimes it's just me looking in your eyes. Sometimes it's just, you know, sometimes it feels like I get in somebody's head where I know what their intentions are. Maybe it's their body language, or maybe it's because of the way I grew up with being poor, and it's a survival technique, or maybe it's something that God blessed me with. Nonetheless, I do have that, and I'm not always right, but I don't have to be always right. As long as I'm over 90% right, I can live with that. I got the impression of that they were up to some really bad stuff, and it was before they even brought up that you know, that thing, and I told them I was not interested. But you know, hey, you know, you know, I did a polite way, right? You know, politely, I think I said something along the lines of like, you know, actually right now I'm really busy with stuff. I got this project, I go, I'd be willing to you know, help you you know, maybe down the line, but right now I'd have to say no. But thank you for thinking of me, man. And I you know, I want you guys to continue thinking of me. Like, you have to do that with, you know, with being a professional, you know, or at least I thought I had to do that at that time. Nonetheless, I get off that phone, I talk to my boss and a coworker, and we're talking. They're like, yo, how did that go, man? You know, like, yeah. And my boss was really, one cool thing about him, he was happy to see, you know, he would be happy for me to make extra money doing side stuff, or him introducing me to somebody, like making a website for him, or doing some email campaigns, or going over some marketing stuff with. He would be happy to see me do that, and he would always try to tell me to, you know, hey man, with those people, dude, overcharge them more, man. So like, he was trying to make up for the $300 a week he gave me by throwing me other work, and at times it was very thankful. It was very nice, you know what I mean? But I'll get into that later. But nonetheless, I tell them, I go, they're up to something really bad. I got this really bad feeling, and they thought I was delusional. They're like, Alien, you know that they'll pay you, you know, X, Y, and Z. That's a lot of money. They'll do that for months. And I said no. I said no because of a feeling I had and something I knew inside my head, and they thought I was delusional. And I said, they're going to be going to prison for something. One of the people, the first person that I knew, I think I named him Harmonica, he was a real estate attorney. He is in federal prison right now. I don't know all of his charges. I know he commingled money. I know that he committed fraud. I think he committed wire fraud and everything else. And I know that at first they, you know, I had followed it. I followed a little bit. I know that he went to state penitentiary, and he had to. No, did he go to state pen? I know that it was all federal charges. And if I remember correctly, I think you got to go to county first, fight your case, but you'll be on the Fed side, and then from the Fed side, I think you might have to actually go to state. I don't know how it works, but I definitely know he's got a lot of years in Fed. So does his partner. I know. With real estate attorneys, commingling money and committing wire fraud is very big. Like that, those are big charges, especially if you do it over state lines, which I believe he did. And I believe because he did all that stuff, it was federal charges. Was I delusional then when I saw when I saw something that nobody had to show me? You know, I had a feeling, and I went with that feeling, and did I get that feeling before jumping in the meeting? No, I wouldn't purposely waste somebody's time or waste my own, you know what I mean? But yeah, the God honest truth is, was I delusional then? No. You know, was I delusional? You know, am I delusional because I'm hopeful, and that I hope that that video does get to Greg DeSette. I hope that people can see my value. I hope that people, you know, maybe it is delusional to think that somebody can shake my hand and be like, you know, you rock with me, I rock with you, and that we're in it together. You know, am I delusional to think that miracles don't happen? I mean, excuse me, that miracles happen. You know, or probably twisting myself up on that. You know, Rocky 1. If anybody who's ever watched Rocky 1, Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, he was just a club fighter, gets an opportunity of his life. Did the Rocky ever think that somebody like Apollo Creed, I know it's a movie, but this stuff happens in real life, and I could feel it. You know what I mean? That's how I go about everything. I could feel it in my heart, and I could feel it in my head. You know, I'm alien for a reason. Damn it. But I'm dead serious. I could feel it like that. There's a reason why that movie had touched so many people's hearts and touched so many souls, and it give people so much confidence. It's an underdog story, rags to riches. That's been my life this whole damn time, right? So anyways, with Rocky, you know, did he ever think that he would ever get a title shot? No. Did anybody ever think that he could beat Apollo Creed? No. Did he think that he could do it himself? He wasn't sure, but he had what it took to get in that ring. He wanted to go the distance. And let me tell you something, Alien here, you know what? I ain't like these other people. I can go the distance, and I don't have to be. I judge myself on myself, but you know, I think I said that because it sounded cool. I heard it in a rap song. Totally joking, but maybe I did. I don't know. But nonetheless, yeah, with Rocky, he knew that you know, everybody thought that he was going to lose that. Everybody thought he was just some lucky bum who got you know, who got thrown in there just because he had the name of the Italian Stallion. But he went the distance and he busted him up. Now he didn't win that match, but he got it so close and did so much damage that he did get his, a rematch. Everybody came to Apollo, and I believe that circumstances like that in an underdog story really do happen. Am I delusional to think that? No. I don't. Do I think that it happens very often and that and stuff like that? I don't think it happens very often. I think that's what makes it special about it. But those things do happen, and I believe that, you know, I want to change the world. I've said that several times. If all I did was become a Walmart greeter, and all I could do is just, you know, because my credit's ruined and everything else, all I could do is be a Walmart greeter, go day in and day out, and only be able to afford renting a room, taking a bus because eventually my car is going to break down on me, and I'm not going to have the money to fix it, and I'm not going to have it miracled or something along those lines. That I will end up having no transportation. I won't have the money to ever get that stuff. Do you think I'll have a chance to actually impact and change the world by doing that? I want more for myself. I want more for everybody. You know, are we all delusional to let people do the stuff that they do? Do you think it's okay that you know, that everything always runs downhill, that shit runs downhill, and we the people, we're the strength. We're the strength, but yet we get smacked on our noses. We get all these, you know, I don't need to go down the list. We must be delusional because we can't get along, and we could solve so much stuff if we all just came together and put away our small petty differences, or was able to let things go, put our hand out there and say, you know what, we're tired of the X, Y, and Z, and we want this to change. And if we all did that with the right intentions and the right heart, we could get so much done. We must, you know what, the people that are in power, the shadow government, or whatever you want to call it, they must think that we're delusional. They must think that a lot of us are brainwashed. They must think a lot of us don't have brains. And I don't think that at all. Everything does come to an end, even in this video. So I might talk about this later, you know, in other videos, but I want to thank everybody so much.